welcome back to Shonky Lab. I'm Elton, yada 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 yada. You know all the stuff that goes along with that, shonkylab.com. And I'm joined with a guest producer, Mr. Lee Harvey.
Hello.
How are you doing, mate? You alright?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm cool. This is like an impromptu episode. We don't normally record on Tuesday. This time, normally, I'm doing the Black Dog. But actually, no, we're still waiting for Darren to turn up at this time.
Yeah.
But then
he sat at home going, "Oh, how late shall I make? Shall I leave it this time?"
Yeah.
They'll be really annoying today.
He's just sat in front of his Skype, crossed arms, going, "No, I'll give it another 15 minutes and then I'll join them bastards. Why not?"
In his pants, yeah.
So I'm normally doing the Black Dog around at this sort of time. So this is very peculiar because we recorded Black Dog last night, which threw my chakra all out the window. I woke up this morning thinking it was Wednesday, and it clearly wasn't. What the hell was going on? I do not know.
Everything it's December, isn't it? Everything goes weird.
Yeah,
because you have all this time off at the end of it. You know, there's all this build up and to Christmas, and it's just strange.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I just got weird feelings. That's all.
Okay, well, you need to tell a doctor about those, not the Shonky Lab audience.
No, that's true. Right, yeah. What are we here to talk about this week? We are here to talk about game shows. I've got a list of game shows that I want to talk about. Some that I remember, some I vaguely remember as well, and some that I just want to name drop. What else? We're going to discuss and put to bed the scone debate.
I don't think we are going to put it to bed. Because even our discussion before recording, we established that neither of us pronounce it the same way.
Well, then...
and there's only two of us.
It's whoever backs down first, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, like I said, we're not going to put this to bed today.
Okay, consider it...
This will be the first time that Shonky Lab goes into the third hour slot.
Oh, jeez. Consider it adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah, this will come back in the Old Men Shout at Clouds episode. Oh,
definitely.
Yeah.
And I've got a little bit of news as well, so I'm just waiting for my news to load up, because God knows if I can find it or not. Oh, balls, it's gone. It's already gone. Oh, hang on. Why is Twitter coming up on that? That's
quality radio. Old man fails with new technology.
Yeah, I haven't opened up my reading account on my Safari for a long time. Hang on. Unread. Let's do that. No, it's not there. Why am I getting Twitter on it? I don't want Twitter. What the bloody hell's going on?
You're just creating editing for yourself now.
Oh, gee, that was a really good story, and I can't find it now. Bugger. It was about some guy who, in Australia, he had a miscalculation, I think it was, with his bank, and he went $1.5 million overdrawn.
How?
How? I tell you how. He bought fast cars, he bought boats, he partied, he spent a lot on cocaine.
So did he... Right, so he thought that he'd have this money.
Yeah, this is... I think it was... You know when you're playing Monopoly and there's a clerical error in your favour, collect £200. It was like that. Because don't banks pass money around and sometimes drop it into people's bank accounts just to hold it while they're moving it around?
Yeah.
And if you catch it, you can have like 50 grand extra. And if you yoink it out of there, then really you're defrauding the system. And this
Are you? I mean, if they put it in your account, then they're defrauding the system, surely.
Well, I think it's just moving it, though.
Right.
It's like moving it from one screen to another screen on your PC. And maybe you're trying to get to a third screen, but you need to drop it into the second screen before you can pick it up again and put it into the third screen.
Is it like when you have to you can transfer money from like a credit card into PayPal, and then from PayPal into your own account because you haven't got any money, that kind of thing?
Yes.
Not that I would ever tell anyone to do that, of course.
No. And then PayPal go, oh, thank you very much for your payment. And it disappears. And I think they did that with this guy.
So did he just like look in his account one day and it said you have $1.5 million of Australian dollars available, and he didn't think I shouldn't have $1.5 million. He thought, brilliant, I'm going to go and spend it all.
I think there was something like that, because you can't just spend $1.5 million just like that. I reckon it would be quite hard to spend that within a day.
I don't know,
Really?
Well, this guy did.
I don't know. I reckon I'd struggle. I honestly reckon I'd struggle to spend $1.5 million in one day. I'll give it a bloody good go.
You could put down a deposit on a house in London. I mean, you'd still have to pay like an extra £1 million eventually.
Yeah. But that's just a deposit.
Excluding buying houses.
Well,
it would be quite difficult.
He bought a Lamborghini.
Well, that must be like £1 million.
Well, it depends on what type of Lamborghini you get.
But it could be.
Yeah, well, he got arrested for it. He got put into jail for it, and I think he was taken out of jail after 6 months. It's really annoying because I can't find this story anyway. I'm going off a ScanRed thing that I went, I'll put that in my little folder and I'll read that later.
It's like the resurrection of Are You Telling Porkies?
Well, yeah.
The last death throes.
yeah, but that was kind of nicking my idea as well, wasn't it?
Oh, it all comes out now.
Yeah, but telling news stories really isn't a idea, though, is it? It's just a thing that people do.
News stories, some of them are made up to try and trick each other.
That's true. Yeah. Oh,
you've been on it.
Oh my God, maybe I am nicking Ollie Peter's idea. Oh, jeez. Ollie, I don't owe you any money. I bought you a beer once.
So now you're saying that this is made up.
No, I'm not saying it's made up. It's not fake. Jesus, right. What? We're not doing fucking Porkies, crying out loud. But
it's too late. We've done it now.
The crux of this story is he got arrested, he got put into jail, and then he got interviewed when he came out of jail. And the interviewer asked him, "Is there anything you miss from your ravaged bank account days?" And he did turn around and said, "Yeah, I kind of missed the coke and the hookers and the parties."
Standard, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
He's not from South London at all, is he?
Oh, God, no, he'd be dead. He'd have snorted all of that by now. We all know what those guys are like.
Just $1.5 million just completely on coke.
Yeah,
he probably do that, actually. Whether you use it all or not, I don't know, but you could certainly spend that much money.
Yeah, on coke, yeah. It'll be a guy from Millwall or somewhere like that, wouldn't it? Whoa.
Technically.
Shots fired.
Technically, Millwall is north of the river. It's on the Isle of Dogs. So, duh.
Wow. So it's been a long time since I've been there, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. Is it north? It's not north of the river, is it?
No, the football's not, no. But the real place, is on the Isle of Dogs.
Oh, well, then I'm clearly talking about the football ground.
What? Are you suggesting that New Cross is not the bastion of loveliness?
I've spent many a year and day and night trolling around there, doing certain things, and it ain't pretty. You got the venue down there. You got the Amersham Arms down there.
It's lovely.
Oh, I can't remember the last time I went to the venue, and I don't want to think about the last time I went to the venue either. If anyone knows South London or South East London, the venue stands out, and it is a place where people visit sometimes more than once, and then forget about it because it's just a haven of scum. It's
a scum and villainy.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go down that direction, but it's oh man, don't never go to the venue. I wouldn't even be allowed in there nowadays. Wouldn't even be allowed in there.
Why? Have you got a past?
I'm too old.
Have you got a face on the thing that do not allow this man back in?
I'm too old to go in there. I'm 38 and too old to go in there, crying out loud.
38, wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that young for the Black Dog?
For the Black Dog it is, yes.
Yeah. Did you have to say that you were like 46 or something?
I just dropped my balls a little bit. Oh, yeah, I'm in my 40s, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, take me on, be fine.
It's all right, none of them are listening.
No, of course they're not, Why would I listen to this rubbish?
Doreen's here.
Oh, hello, Doreen. The Shonky Lab mascot.
Yeah.
Is in the room. We also said I want to put to bed or maybe just add fuel to the fire about the scone/scone debate.
Correct. Scone, yeah.
Oh, so you're on the scone side, are you?
Yes.
Why do you say scone? Is this something from when you was a wee nipper or what?
I guess so. I think because I moved from South London up to Derbyshire, so quite the north of Derbyshire, quite near Manchester, when I was about 11.
Yeah.
And I made a massive effort to keep my southern accent among all these northerners.
Mm.
So it's probably come from there, I think, to say scone. Because it's generally considered a southern thing. Although you're from the same part of the world.
Yeah. And
you say it wrong.
Well, you say I say it wrong. I say it right.
Yeah.
Okay, scone. You said in the green room when we were talking that scone is more of a middle class way of saying it.
That's what science says.
Right.
It's not me. It's this story that I'm reading on the Telegraph.
How do you
website.
think Her Majesty the Queen would ask for a scone/scone?
She'd say scone.
Really?
Yeah, because that supports my argument.
But it sounds posher when you say scone. Imagine Mary Berry.
No, nobody says scone.
Well,
say scone. It's not scone.
Mary Berry might, and the Queen might, and if they
I think they say scone.
In more of a regal accent.
You can say that quite possibly, though, can't you? Scone.
Scone.
Exactly. See?
And scone.
It's nothing to do with it's how you pronounce it. It's just what your accent is.
Right. Okay.
Again, I'm right. Scone is wrong.
Well, okay. We found a heat map, and I was directed to this by Trekkie Geek, Tim, on Twitter. And you've seen pretty much the same sort of heat map as well, haven't you?
I've got it in front of me now. I'm going to put it on the chat room for Doreen to have a look at. The article that I'm looking at, which has the heat map on it and also the stats about middle class and other stuff.
Okay, right. I'm going to open this up and have a look at it. Why not?
It has both of them.
That's a nice picture of scones there.
They do look nice, don't they?
They got green bits in. What's that all about?
Where? Oh, yeah. I didn't see that.
Why they got green? Have you just shown me?
Shut up, that's why.
Are they mouldy?
I don't think so. They're probably like bits of lime or something.
Lime?
That's the only green thing that I could think of that you might put in.
Oh, dear. Lime. Okay, so this heat map shows a massive percentage of the northern England and Northern Ireland as well. Well, there's a border there.
I know the blue bit you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. Is they pronounce it, hang on, how do they pronounce it? It doesn't say. I'm going to go back to my heat map because it says on there. It says,
I think it's the
scone rhymes with gone.
Yeah.
Is the orange stuff. And the blue stuff is scone rhymes with cone.
Yes.
I'm in the camp of scone, and that is the way it's staying.
Okay.
Oh man, why Scotland? Why can't that be further down where it should be?
They're always just ruining everything, aren't they?
Yeah, god damn it.
But then that doesn't support this argument about the class thing either, because the whole of North Wales says scone.
Yeah.
And there's nothing middle class about North Wales at all.
Is there anything in Wales at all? Apart from hills?
Rugby.
Okay,
Sheep.
rugby and a bridge.
A bridge. There's 2 bridges that I can think of.
One going in, one going out.
That's the one, yeah. You've got to get to Anglesey as well. I assume that has a bridge. I've never been.
Fair enough.
Well,
I'm glad we put this to bed. That's good.
have we put it to bed?
No, because it's scone.
No, it's scone.
It's come to the dark side.
You haven't given any argument as to why it's scone, apart from it's scone.
Well, that is the argument, isn't it?
Fastest cake in the West. Scone.
Exactly. That joke would not work if it was a scone, would it? There we go.
But that's not a good enough reason.
That's a bloody good reason.
As incredible as that joke is, it's not a good enough reason.
If you rhyme it with, if you pronounce it scone, then you have removed a joke from the human race in one foul swoop.
It's true.
And that is just not good. Children around the world will be going, what's the fastest cake in the world? And there won't be an answer. And they'll be going, scone.
What children around the world will be doing is saying, thank God Dad can't tell that terrible joke anymore. That's what they'll be doing.
Shame on you. Why did I even ask you on here? I do not know.
You didn't. I volunteered.
No, that's true, yeah. You muscled your way in on it.
What, by saying, do you fancy doing this?
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Well, I'm glad we've decided that it is scone. Good.
Scone! Oh, sorry. I've got a bit of a cough.
So should we get on to what we're here to talk about instead of mucking around like this? Like
are we not here to talk about scones?
Sorry, what was that? Scones, yes.
Right.
No, game shows.
Should we start on our secondary subject? Game shows.
Yes. Game shows. Okay. Do you have a history of game shows? I'm guessing that you've grown up, because there aren't as many game shows, I don't think, as what there were in late 80s, early 90s.
Is that because of we've changed the way that we watch TV?
TV has changed.
It's changed a lot. But then we have entire channels devoted to game shows these days.
We have entire channels devoted to old game shows. Stuff that's already been on TV years and years ago.
Did Challenge TV not make their own versions of things?
Do you know, I don't know. I don't know if they do. I know...
I don't know either. Another example of the fine Shonky Lab research.
There you go. I remember watching game shows, and some when I was off sick from school, some that you would never ever get to see unless you were sick from school.
Like Going for Gold.
Yes. That is one of my massive loves. You'd be off sick from school, and I think they'd have like 2 rounds during the day.
Oh, what, 2 separate ones?
Yeah. Come back at 1 o'clock, where we will be going into the second half of Going for Gold, because it was Henry Kelly.
That's right.
Oh man.
And just some random European people.
Yeah.
What was behind that? I mean, did it go out in Europe? Did they see it, or
they must have? It must have gone out in Europe, because the prize for it was, I watched and series linked and recorded onto my Skype box at one point. the whole series of Going for Gold because I wanted to watch it again. Because the prize at the end of it was the 1988 tickets to the 1988 Seoul Olympics.
Okay. That's probably not a bad trip in the 80s.
Well, yeah.
To Korea.
I think that's a fantastic prize.
Yeah.
But I had so much fun just watching it. I couldn't answer any of the questions. But it was split up into different parts of the game as well. They'd be in different parts of the studio as well.
I honestly don't remember any of the games themselves. I just remember that it was Matthew Kelly, that it was random European people, and it had a really strange or catchy theme tune.
Right. You'd have about 6 people.
Excuse me. Yeah.
And you'd have to answer general knowledge questions and have to get to 3 points. Once you got 3 points, you got moved over to a different section of the studio to stand behind a pillar. And then once you got 2 people standing behind a pillar, they'd go on like a time thing where they'd split the screen, and one contestant would be on the left-hand side of the screen, the other would be on the right-hand side of the screen, and you would have big blocks, and time would run through these big blocks, and you could only answer the question if it was in one of your blocks. And so you decide, okay, right, I'm playing against you. I decide, Henry Kelly would ask, do you want to play or do you want to pass? And I'd say, I'll play. And so you get the first of 4 blocks. It'll be the biggest block. And then once the time has run out of that, it will switch over to your side where only you can answer, but it's a shorter amount of time. Once it goes through yours, it goes back to me. And the amount of people that just press it just out of their zone, it's brilliant. I flipping love it even today. I still can't answer the questions, but it is still bloody good.
It got 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
What?
I didn't even know that. Well, I searched for Going for Gold on the internet, and it's given me an IMDb rating of 6.8 out of 10.
That's excellent. That's better than most of the films I watch.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
I have no idea. That it's 1987 to 1996 it ran.
It can't be 1996. Hang on, when was the Seoul Olympics?
1988.
Right. Oh, 1996. Sorry. I thought you said 80. No, that'd be time traveling backwards, wouldn't it?
Well, it is a complicated game. Well, to win this game, you're going to have to invent time travel.
And go back to the very beginning. Yeah. Oh, jeez. I used to love that, though. I used to love it. Have you got any game shows that you remember?
Blockbusters.
Okay. Is that still going? Right, IMDb now.
We're going to have to try to have a look. I watched a lot of Blockbusters because I think it was on immediately before, I think it was the A-Team or Battlestar Galactica, the old version. Mm-hmm. Stuff that I wanted to watch. So you had to sort of sit through the end of it in order to get to the program that you wanted to watch. And it was what always confused me is, why was there a team of 2 people on one side and then there was one person on their own?
Oh my God,
on the other side?
Was, yeah.
How did that work?
I don't know.
Was it drawn randomly, or did someone go, I want to play on my own?
I think it must have just been Billy No Mates wanting to play on their own and wanting to keep whatever prize they got at the very end.
Maybe they couldn't afford 2 chairs or something. 4 chairs even.
Okay, Blockbusters ran until 2012. Wow. Oh no, not until 2012. We had Bob Holness, who's the main guy.
Yeah.
He did it from 1983 until
Can I have a pee, please, Bob? Yeah.
95. Michael Aspel did it in 1997. Lisa Tarbuck did it from 2000 to 2001, and then they must have brought it back for Simon Mayo to do it in 2012.
You can see the percentage by, yeah. Was this not one of the things that Challenge did themselves?
Wasn't this on? This was on ITV though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure some channel started making all these things again.
Here we go. The program premiered on 29th of August 1983 on ITV. Ran for 10 series, ending on 1993. Blockbusters was revived for 4 additional series, the most of which aired on Challenge TV in 2012.
There we go.
And that's why Simon Mayer was on there.
Yeah. 7.2.
So do you remember?
IMDb.
Do you remember any of the games on there? Because I totally forgot about the two-player team against the single-player team.
Well, weren't they all the same? Didn't you just have to get? So you'd have like a board of hexagons, and then they'd have letters on them, and each team had a color, and you turned the hexagon your color by answering a question right, and then you had to make a line from one side of the board to the other.
Yeah, you had to get from one side to the other, didn't you?
And you had to. So each thing had a letter on it, and you had to say "Can I have a P, please, Bob?" And then he'd ask you a question. What P? Yada yada yada, and the answer began with that letter.
And if you got it wrong, it'd disappear.
Yeah.
And so you'd have to take another route.
Yep.
Oh wow, it's all falling back into place now.
But wasn't it all just the same? Like there was just several rounds of the same thing.
There was, but once you got onto the end of that board, you'd go onto a different board, wouldn't you?
Oh, I don't remember.
It was probably the same thing.
I don't remember now.
It's another program that I used to watch, but more in the background and not actually trying to learn anything.
I think so.
It's like you said, it was a bridge between two programs.
Yeah. Between when the kids' TV finished and when the next cool TV was on. Yeah. There'd be this quiz show.
I think BBC used to do that between the news. They used to have Flintstones on, and then the news would come on as a bridge gap.
Oh, it did, didn't it? Yeah.
But then they put Neighbours on, and then they got rid of the Flintstones. And I was mightily pissed off at that. Because at the time, I loved the Flintstones.
It wasn't like that.
Right.
Flintstones is not true.
Oh, man. There was a board game about this as well. I kind of want to watch this now.
What, Blockbusters?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there was a board game, wasn't there? Oh, you could get games for everything, though.
Yeah.
Here's one Doreen's mentioned.
Oh, go on.
It's got 8.5 on IMDb. Recently come back. The Crystal Maze. Is that a game show? I suppose it is, isn't it?
Yeah, let's let that in.
Because you had to run around and things.
Yeah, you had little...
solve puzzles and get crystals.
Yeah, awesome little puzzles.
Or not, as most of the teams that I remember watching doing.
Aztec Zone.
That's right, yeah.
And other zones. Right, I need to IMDb. Oh, Jesus Christ, my computer's going to crash on me. I know it.
Well, they had, what was it, the Industrial Zone? Was it the Medieval Zone?
I think so.
Was that one? And it was Richard O'Brien?
Richard O'Brien used to host it.
The bald guy from that musical. I can't remember what it's called. Rocky Horror Show.
Yeah.
Being chased by people in brightly coloured shell suits.
And Ed Tudor Pole. I'm trying to remember who he was.
No one cares about his ones.
He did it as well.
Yeah.
Right, okay. You had 4 different zones. Where are they? It was a labyrinth. I'm trying to work out what the zones were.
So, yeah, it was the Aztec Zone, the Industrial Zone, the
Medieval,
and another one.
Atlantis. No, it was... the Industrial was replaced with the Ocean Zone. Wow.
I'm going to have to go to Wikipedia myself now to have a look.
But yeah, that was a good game. It had a lot of fun involved, I felt, because if you got locked in, then you wouldn't get the key. The idea of this was to go into a zone, get as many keys as you can, and...
There were crystals.
Oh, was it crystals? It was crystals, yes.
So you had,
and that'd give you more time in the crystal in the actual dome itself, wouldn't it?
That's right. So you went into each zone, and you had a captain, and they had to pick someone to play a game, and there were skill games, physical games, mental games, and mystery games.
Right.
And they go into a little room, wouldn't they?
Yes.
And they'd say, right, you've got 2 minutes. And they'd have to figure, and there'd be something in front of them, like a puzzle or something to solve, or in this room, and they'd have to figure it out without any kind of instructions or anything else. Figure it out, and if they managed to do it in the time, they'd get the crystal. But if they didn't, they'd get locked in the room.
Yeah, and then you could, at the end of the game, you could spend your crystals that you had got either in time in the dome itself, collecting gold paper or gold tickets, sorry.
Yeah.
Or you could spend a crystal getting one of your locked up teammates out.
That's right.
So it was a toss up between, do you want your mates to help you collect the tokens but in a shorter time?
Yeah.
Or do you want longer time in there on your own?
Yeah.
And pick up as many leaflets or tokens or whatever they were called.
But the fun of it was you could work it out because you obviously had a better view of what was going on because you were watching on TV. So you could work it out really easily, just shouting at these idiots who are just standing there scratching their heads while the whole rest of their team is peering through these little windows, shouting different instructions to them at the same time. Well, they just got more stressed and not been able to do it.
There must be.
You had to decide, didn't you? You had to decide, like whether you were coming out, because they say, "Oh, you've got 10 seconds." He's like, "Oh, I'm coming out," and they race out so they didn't get locked in.
Yeah, you have to Indiana Jones it underneath the door.
There's a brilliant. Do you remember the Mary Whitehouse experience?
I remember. I never really watched it, but I remember it. Yeah.
There's a great comedy sketch of them doing the Crystal Maze, and this guy goes in, and on the table in front of him is a teapot and a mug, tea set, all this stuff. And for ages, he's putting the cup in the teapot. He's putting the tea bags in the thing and messing around. And they're all shouting instructions at him. And then it goes quiet, and one guy shouts, "I think you've got to make a cup of tea." And he goes, I'm coming out. Just runs out. It's very good. It's on YouTube probably.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Doreen in the chat room says that the Aztec Zone had the timers were water timers.
Yes, they were.
Because some were egg timers as well, weren't they?
That's right. And
the silver tickets total offset from the gold tickets.
That's right, because it was you were in the big dome, weren't you? And the fans just threw these tickets up in the air, and you had to grab them as they were flying around.
And you had he'd have his catchphrase of "Start the fans, please."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's all coming back, isn't it? Crazy.
Yeah. And they just grab all these tickets, they shove them in the little box at one end. And then at the end, he'd embarrass them because he'd go, "You've got 100 gold tickets." And they go, "Hey, oh, but you've got 500 silver tickets." Like, "Oh, you've won. Here's a crystal." That's it.
Yeah, you're crap at this game. Yeah. Get out.
I don't remember the prizes being that great. They were just like a whitewater rafting or something round the corner.
But that wasn't the idea of that game, though. It's not there to get a prize, is it?
But they could have said whatever they wanted because no one ever won it.
No, well, I don't know if anyone ever won it or not. It's the fun of watching idiots try to get a ball. But some of them would be like the wobbly table where you have to get a ball across a maze without falling down the holes and from one side of the maze to the other side of the maze. And on TV, like you said, looking from a different angle, it looks well easy. It's like the Cube that came out a couple of years ago with Philip Schofield. Some of them things, they look well easy. Walk in a straight line, yeah, I can do that. Thank you very much.
Give it a go, yeah.
Throw a ball in the hoop, yeah, I can do that. Easy, not a problem. But I think when you got that a little bit of pressure on you, then it's a lot harder. And
yeah, definitely.
That's what I like about the Crystal Maze. But you could get excited about it.
Yeah.
And
especially, I mean, all the ones we're talking about now, we were probably sort of 11, 12, something like that, years old, when you would get excited about these kind of things. I remember one around the same time called the Krypton Factor. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yeah, that was later in the evening, though, wasn't it?
Oh, right, yeah.
That wasn't quite a lunchtime or daytime thing, was it?
No.
So what was that? That was more...
they all had these challenges, didn't they? It was more of a physical thing because there was like an assault course. The
assault course was at the end, though.
That's right.
Wasn't
you had to land a plane. Do you remember that? They had the massive flight simulator, and you had to land a jumbo jet.
Really?
No training or anything. Yeah, that was on the Krypton Factor.
Oh man!
I don't think it was on all of them, but yeah, they have like no training at all in aviation, and it would be like the one who, I suppose, stayed flying for the longest because no one ever landed it. It always crashed.
The Krypton Factor, that I think there was practical mental tests, like doing a jigsaw puzzle really quickly.
Yeah,
and then you get time added on, or time displaced against the other team, so you'd be able to start the assault course before them.
That's right.
And so they would start the assault course maybe 5 seconds after you've already started, if you'd won enough points or tokens or whatever it was.
That's right.
But I don't really remember watching it much. It wasn't in the house that often. I don't think we watched it that much. That was more, we'd pop round to my nan and granddad's at the time, and I'd sit on the floor watching it while everyone else was talking away.
It says here that it was on Mondays at 7 p.m.
Right.
So that's about, like you say, sort of midweek evening.
Yeah.
I'm going to because this got 6.9 on IMDb. I'm going to keep a list of what we've talked about to see which is the best one.
Oh, okay, cool.
As we go, but I've already forgotten what we talked about. Blockbusters. Anyway.
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Right. Well, I'm gonna jump onto one that all the kids remember. It's an easy one to talk about, I feel. Nightmare.
Brilliant. Yeah.
It was a game show.
Yep, definitely.
Because kids went on there and played. It's not a game show in the respect of you have contestants against each other. This is more against a virtual reality world. And you have a guy, I can never remember the name, because I was a BBC guy, as I've mentioned many, many times before. But this was one of the only programs I would turn over on a Friday after school to watch this on ITV.
Was it on ITV?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Okay. I never remember which was on what.
Yeah. You're going to have to look this up on IMDb now.
I will. Don't worry.
I reckon that's going to be in the 7s, possibly pushing 8s.
Well, they've recently made a stage show of it, haven't they?
Have they?
Yeah. I think it was in London. No, it's always in London. Yeah, you're right. 8.5. Everybody loved Nightmare.
That's just a nostalgia mark, if ever I heard one. 8.5, crying out loud.
I got even more frustrated with that one than like the Crystal Maze, just shouting at people and going, "You're idiots! Why are you doing this?" But again, it's probably because we could see absolutely everything.
Well, yeah, the problem that they had is you had 3 idiots sat on a stool or on a small little bench, and they were obviously looking at TV screens where their mate was walking around a room.
Yeah.
And you'd have the floor would it was like they'd gone into a computer or a computer fantasy world,
Yeah.
And they'd have to be guided by their three friends sat back at base. And for the frustration lie with a computer game, you can guide it and you got control of that joystick.
Yeah.
But this, if you got a stupid mate, you go, take 2 steps to your left, and they go right. And they fall into a massive chasm. And you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, why did we have to put him in there? Because he doesn't know his left and flipping right. But it was presented so well. And it reminded me of Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Yep.
Even the text-based adventure games you'd have on computers as well.
Well, it was that time, wasn't it, when, computer games were really starting to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Computers were getting better, computer graphics and things. And like you say, that whole, Dungeons and Dragons have been around for a few years. The Choose Your Own Adventure books, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So kids lapped it up.
Yeah. It was, I adored it. I really did. And the player would walk into a room and he'd go, "Where am I?" every single time he walks into a room. And then his friends would have to describe it, because the guy, one thing we forgot to mention is the guy who was actually on the screen, their teammate in the virtual reality world, had a massive helmet on his head so he couldn't see anything.
That's right, yeah. And they'd have all these actors in there, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they'd have actors.
Occasionally you go in a room and then someone would start... usually there was like an argument, wasn't there? There's 2 characters in there arguing about something, and they'd have their little thing, and you'd see this guy standing there not knowing what the hell was going on.
That's right, yeah.
Thing over his head, while his mates just had to wait and watch.
And sometimes they'd give you a drink, and you could drink the drink, and it'd either revive your character or take some power off your character. And the way that they represented health in this game was a big skull, wasn't it? It was the head of the character with the helmet on.
It was like a jigsaw puzzle, wasn't it? And bits would just fly off.
Yeah.
So he had his face, and like a bit of his forehead would fly off, and it'd be the skull underneath.
And then the eyeball would fall out, and then the whole skull would just disappear. And, oh, you're dead. Your friend has died. You chose poorly.
I don't remember anyone getting anywhere on that one either.
I think there were a couple of winners.
I'm sure there were.
They won like a nightmare pencil or something, I'm sure. I'm sure it was, yeah. But you're right, it was just the turn of computers. It had gone from text-based adventures to this was cutting edge at the time.
Yeah.
And it was getting good, and they were showing off a little bit with some of their graphics. And I think that's what drew people in, because you had that nostalgia of reading the books, you had the Dungeons and Dragons stuff, and then you had computers as well. And it was just everything that a grown kid would want to watch.
Absolutely, yeah. I loved it. Just looking at some pictures now. Oh, they had a shield.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
What did that do?
Probably nothing. I don't remember them with the shield. Maybe it protected them.
And you had a little bag.
Yeah.
And that's where you put the stuff. And you watch this poor kid who's blinded because he's got this mask on, trying to find the things on the table, trying to put it in the bag.
Here, have this magical staff of Gondor. Okay, how do I put this in the bag? Here, have a crystal. I've dropped it. Where is it? You've dropped it down the chasm. It will never be seen again. God damn it. Right, Beat the Teacher. Do you remember that?
No.
Right, okay, right, I'm going to have to Google this one.
What do you mean you don't remember it?
I remember it.
Spellcasting, sorry, we've just jumped back to Nightmare. Deacon Duck has just put up spellcasting, HEAL.
Did they have to do that? They they did do spellcasting, didn't they?
Just spell it out. Brilliant.
Oh dear, they spelled the wrong thing. BALLS. Oh, you have spelled balls. You have got a mighty set of balls now. Right, I'm going to move on. Yeah, Beat the Teacher.
I don't know this one.
Okay, Beat the Teacher is a British children's game show aired on the BBC from 1984 to 1988. It was first hosted by Howard Stableford in 1984, then Paul Jones, which I don't remember, but the one I do remember is Bruno Brooks.
Is that? I was going to say it was Keith Chegwin looking at the pictures, but no, you're absolutely right. Bruno Brooks.
I've got a Keith Chegwin one coming up later on. Don't worry.
Okay, not the naked one.
Oh, don't wait. Wait.
Sorry, I mean that sounds interesting, Elton. I look forward to hearing about that one.
Maybe we'll have that in part 2 to keep people listening. Okay, the show format on this, each edition featured 2 contestants, one a school student and the other a teacher, both who were tested on general knowledge and logic puzzles. The correct answer of the contestant moved on a giant noughts and crosses board made from rotating cubes. That's right, yes. There was a big board behind him. And you could play noughts and crosses with him, and then you could choose where to go in the noughts and crosses.
But surely no one ever won that, the noughts and crosses. Nobody wins noughts and crosses.
Apart from me.
Who are you playing?
My kids.
How old were they when you were playing?
I take them down to Chinatown with it.
Were they like 3 at the time?
I don't care if they're crying or not. As long as I'm winning, I don't care. But it was one that I quite liked. Yeah, Bruno Brooks is just a nostalgia thing as well. So,
see, the old people have started to appear on Mixler now. Lee Medcalf's here.
Ah, okay.
Run Around with Mike Reed. Pass.
I know
who Mike Reed is.
Hang on, we need a IMDb for Beat the Teacher.
Oh, yeah. What about that?
I will do that. Go on. What's Runaround?
I don't know. I was hoping that you'd know.
I've never heard of it.
Neither have I. See, this is what I was saying about the old people have appeared, because neither of us know what it is. It's he's typed it on here in a very strange way. Run around. I don't know. I think that's supposed to be Cockney, as in Mike Reed. Run around like that.
Beat the Teacher, IMDb.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. What's going on here?
It doesn't have one.
Oh, Skype has changed. Right, hang on a second. I've just had Mr. Medcalf try to phone in, and Skype's changed. Why can't I add people to the call instead?
It's Skype's way of saying, we don't know what Runaround was. We don't want to talk about it.
Chat.
Let me add him to this one instead.
Fuck it. Not after all that crap. All that crap in me.
Is he there now?
Hello.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're back.
Right. Okay. I'm only coming on to tell you about Runaround. You've only got 8 minutes.
Oh, nuts. What's Runaround?
You've only got 8 minutes.
8 minutes. Basically, Runaround was like you had like a load of kids, like about 100 kids. I guess it's probably less than that, but it looked like 100 kids on telly. And you had Mike Reed, who looked like a 70s sort of like bouncer, usually in a red shirt, big sunglasses, going, right, now, there's 3 answers here. You have to stand on the 3 different buttons. Well, whoever's on the right button gets to stay. And
that Mike Reed?
Yeah.
Wasn't there another Mike Reed?
Yeah, there was the DJ who went on to sort of sing for UKIP.
Oh, okay, fine. That's the one I was thinking of.
No. EastEnders, Pat.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Cockney Mike Reid. And he basically used to have 3 answers to every question. So it'd be like, which planet has a red spot? Is it spot number 1, Jupiter? Spot number 2, a bus? And spot number 3, 2 toads and a lily pad. Run around! And then the lights would go fucking mental and all the kids would just run around like lunatics. And eventually, whoever was standing on the right answer got to stay and everyone else got told to fuck off. And it would eventually work down to the last 3 kids.
How big were the answers? I mean, did they have to like fight each other to get on it? Is there only so much space on the answer?
Yeah.
Yes. Watch these kids have a fight.
Yeah, watch these kids like pile on to a 6-foot circle while there's like 700 of them. You know, it was like organized chaos. It was brilliant. Ran around. And it always did. It always had this psychedelic sort of, I don't know, underworld kind of rave gig going on because they'd suddenly go, run around, and it all go black and white and fucking lights would go on and off and camera would zoom in and out and there'd be Mike Reid looking like, God, I wish I was still on the Comedians. And then, that was it. But it was like, you essentially took the 70s equivalent of the pub landlord and then stuck him on like a CBeebies program.
Well, it stopped apparently in 1986.
Yeah.
Which is probably why Elton and I have no recollection of it whatsoever.
After Mike Reid actually ate a child. Allegedly.
Yeah, so Doreen's saying she doesn't think she knows Run Around. Am I the only one? Did I cheese dream the fucking thing? I'm pretty sure it's there.
I found it on Wikipedia.
Yeah, I found it as well.
But
there's a Run Around kids show from the 70s. If you type Run Around Mike Reid, you can actually see him. He's threatening. He's threatening a kid. It's insane. So there was Run Around. That was one. And then there was Cheggers Plays Pop. Have we had?
No, we haven't had. Lee's here from the 70s to tell us about early quiz shows.
You don't know you were born. We used to fight with maces back then.
I remember Cheggers Plays Pop, but only very briefly.
I only remember the bloody theme tune. It just used to be this one guy sort of trying to do a really bad sort of like Led Zeppelin knockoff, which was going dun, 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 dun. And then there's someone go, Cheggers Plays Pop.
That's right, yes.
Just go over and over again until eventually someone got bored and just turned it off. And then it would just go to a load of kids standing there and Cheggers would run up and down, basically asking a load of silly questions about pop records that none of the kids would know.
It ran for 8 years. Bloody hell. I suppose they couldn't get anyone else called Chegwin, could they? To replace
it's kind
him.
of integral to it. Like,
Cheggers Plays Pop with Bruno Brooks. Damn.
Simon Mayo's Cheggers Plays Pop. It just doesn't work.
We had Keith Chegwin in a little glass jar here, just so we can keep calling it Cheggers Plays Pop.
See? And it carried on right up to 1986. So you young whippersnappers should at least remember part of it.
I remember it. I remember it being there. And it was just a quiz show on music.
Yeah, that was it. And it used to have left and right answers. You never used to have like kids never used to think. They usually just hit like left or right. So It was like it was 50-50 whether or not they get through because they were all fucking idiots.
Jeez. Right, while I've got you on here then, do you know the
smelling of piss and wintergreen, yeah.
Yeah. There's a vague wisp of violets I can smell as well.
Palmer Violets and Werther's Original. Go on, you've only got a minute and a half. Go on.
Yeah, I ain't got long. There's I can't remember the name of the video game now. It's the track and field game. Do you remember the old track and field games?
Hypersports. Daley Thompson's Decathlon.
No, it was called track and field.
Oh, track and field. All right,
yep.
Fine.
And there was a game show where contestants played that, and they had to get either the longest javelin throw or the longest high.
Oh, you're thinking of the thing with Dominic Diamond.
Games Master.
No, it was way before that. It had a lady presenter.
Oh, there was Violet, what's her name, with the lisp, and Gaz Top. Oh God, now it's got me thinking.
No, I think it's earlier than that.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Hold on. Man looks up thing on internet.
Right, I'm doing that as well.
That's most of this show has been that, to be honest.
Gaz Top and Violet Berlin. Yeah. Hold on. What were they doing? Arcade Attack. There was that. No, it's not. That wasn't it. That wasn't it either.
Just making things up now.
I am, and just go along.
I'm never going to find it. Never going to find it at all. Damn.
No, I'm sure I'll find it. It's pretty. It wouldn't take long. Because there was the one with Dominic Diamond, and you've got 30 seconds.
Yeah,
so.
I know.
Debbie Greenwood was the presenter.
That's it.
Oh, now we're going. That's Doreen. Hold on. Debbie Greenwood.
Right, if this cuts out for the people in the live thing, we'll be back very, very shortly. Maybe around about 15 minutes. So go grab a cup of tea and we'll be back with you very soon while we search for stuff on the internet.
Yeah, hold on. It's going to be like, give the answer just as the thing cuts out. The answer is... There you go, and there they're gone.
She said she did a game show called Love Me, Love Me Not. That's not it, is it?
No, there was First Class.
Yeah. You're looking at the same page as me, aren't you?
And Spellbound.
Debbie Greenwood. That's it. And then Track and Field.
Yeah. Debbie Greenwood. Got a bit of a MILF vibe going on.
First Class.
First Class.
Yeah, First Class MILF.
Deacon said it was First Class. No.
It is, yeah. The game First Class was a 1980s BBC TV game show hosted by Debbie Greenwood. It was here we go. 2 teams of 3 students representing a particular school would take part in a multi-format quiz featuring questions on both general knowledge, pop culture, and a well-known innovative video games round.
There you
Rounds such as spinning the gold disc made use of a simulated computer display similar to the ones in the game show of such era of blockbusters and catchphrase. The other rounds such as word of mouth used a real computer display from Micro BBC or BBC Micro.
Yeah, but was that Track and Field?
Yes, it was.
Was it?
Because I've still got that game. I can play that now if I wanted to.
Right. Okay. All I know is I've googled up Debbie Greenwood, and apparently she was Miss Great Britain.
Oh.
And there's a few swimsuit photos here that are keeping me busy.
Right, I'm going to drop this link in there. Have a look at that, right? That's the Wikipedia page, and it says arcade games featured halfway down the page. And you've got Track and Fields, Hypersport, Paperboy.
Hypersports. Did I not mention Hypersports?
But Track and Field above it.
Yeah.
But you did.
You said...
Okay, you're both right.
Yes, fucking right.
Right. Now go onto the Track and Field link.
Yeah.
For the video game. Zoomed out. Have a look at the graphic screenshots on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I have at home.
Yeah. That's
right.
cool.
Hypersports. Oh, there's no screenshots of Hypersports.
Oh, it was Deacon Duck who said Debbie Greenwood, not Doreen, by the way.
Paperboy, yes, they used to play Paperboy as well. Oh man, what's 720?
That was a skateboarding game.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, 720. That came out well before you had all your newfangled, what's his name, twatty face. Who does all the skateboards now. Mm-hmm. I can't remember his name. I'm sure
that guy. Yeah,
that guy. You know,
Tony Hawk's.
That's the guy.
That's the twat. Yeah. Guy who gets paid to stand on roller skates between the 2 planks. Yeah, it's well done.
In my day, our skateboards only had 2 wheels.
Yeah, in my day, it was a unicycle with a plank on it. Anyway.
Okay, images of Debbie Greenwood coming up. Yeah, I can see why. I can see why.
Yeah.
Do I have to open an incognito window?
No.
Nah. She's on QVC, or was on QVC.
Well, yeah. There's pictures of her in stripy swimsuits and. So what have you covered so far then?
well.
If anything.
Excuse me. Blockbusters. You've heard of that.
Right. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Krypton Factor.
Oh,
Going for Gold.
Mm-hmm.
Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal Maze.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the Teacher.
Yeah.
The Cube.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah.
Family Fortunes.
Oh.
And Europe, and then it was Run Around. So
Run Around.
Yeah. Run Around.
But I've got plenty still to go.
Oh, yeah. I've got a few.
I found the list.
Have you got time to join us, or you got to shoot off?
I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy to join you because I'm literally doing a presentation video, which is me scripting, writing, directing, video editing, the whole fucking 9 yards, and I'm on a whole thing about Boris Johnson at the moment. I'm trying to see whether or not I can get the words. He looked like a bear that had been blown up in a glue factory.
Do you want to reset everything and get it running again?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
So people are not listening to us.
No, they're not.
You can't have that. That's crazy.
They're not listening at the moment. This is the green room. We've fallen back into the green room.
The green room?
Yeah, the green room. That's how I spelt it on the door.
That's it. The green room. Is it in Comic Sans? Green room.
It's copyright me, all right?
Okay.
Green room.
Green room. Well,
I'm going to go grab a drink.
Come on, you've been on a Shonky Lab before.
yeah, I've been on a Funky Lab.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Shonky Lab. It's myself, as per normal, and I'm joined by two Lees now.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, there it is.
I was waiting for you to go, and I'm joined by Lee, and then we could both say hello at the same time, but you ruined it. Ruined it, Elton.
Right, okay. I'm joined by Mr. Lee Medcalf.
Yeah, that's me.
And also Mr. Lee Harvey.
Hello.
Yeah, there he is. Jesus.
Go on then, get it out of the way. Go on, you know what you want. Well, firstly, before we left, didn't we? Before we left the live bit,
Yep.
we left them with oh, I know what that show is. And then it just cut off.
Right, someone said it in the chat room, didn't they?
No, well, Deacon Duck on the chat room told us that it had Debbie Greenwood in it.
Yep.
We got this sort of distracted by Debbie Greenwood appearing in swimsuits. And then just as we figured out what it was, it all vanished.
Oh, damn, what was it?
First class.
First class, that's right. And it had the games of Paperboy in there, 720. And what was one you said?
Track and field and hypersports.
That's right, yeah. That Hypersports had the archery bit in it as well, didn't it?
Had all of it. Hypersports was the real arcade style one, which had shooting and javelin and long jump and bikes and all sorts of stuff.
Right, okay.
Yeah. BBC microcomputer graphics, says Deacon Duck. Yes. But it was much better on C64, but let's not get there.
I agree.
Yeah.
If we were going to go there, I would agree.
Exactly. Just one thing, guys.
Yep.
I noticed you were talking about blockbusters. Did you talk about the most important thing about blockbusters? Which was Bob Holness was the first ever person to play James Bond.
Really?
Oh, shut up.
No, he did. He did it.
What?
He was James Bond in a radio play rendition of Moonraker.
Ah, okay.
He made the films.
Huh.
There you go. See? Ta-da.
You learn something every day.
See, come moan about the oldies. I'm bringing the fucking knowledge.
You are a font of knowledge.
I'm a something of knowledge. Has NT on the end of it.
Yeah, it rhymes with font.
Of knowledge.
I believe Elton is desperate to talk about a naked Keith Chegwin.
Yes. Let's talk about Keith Chegwin's Winky.
Why? Why do you want to talk about that thing? It's about as inconsequential as his ratings for that fucking show, wasn't it?
Well, it got into the news, didn't it? This show. It was called Naked Jungle. I found it on IMDb, which
This is a Channel 5 special.
Channel 4.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Channel 4, late at night as well. It's got a rating of 5.3 on IMDb, but obviously, that doesn't mean anything. But I think that's the lowest we've got so far, isn't it?
That's a measurement in millimeters.
It's not actually. Runaround got less.
Oh, did it?
It did. It got 5.2.
Wow. Well, Naked Jungle.
That's probably because the people who watch Runaround haven't worked out how to use the internet yet. So,
Right.
Well, actually, most of the people who are in Runaround are probably retired.
The kids on Runaround grew up to be the contestants on Naked Jungle. Oh, dear.
So Elton,
Yes.
naked Keith Chegwin.
Right.
Yeah, what is the fascination with a man who looks like unleavened bread?
It's only had one episode.
Naked Jungle was a one-off TV game show produced for the United Kingdom terrestrial TV station Channel 5 by Yorkshire Television, airing on June 6th of June 2000. Is it only one episode? Are you having a laugh?
So, to be honest, even in the title, I can tell why that only had one episode.
Right, the programme presenter, Keith Chegwin, was naked, except for a hat. Hang on. It was controversial because all the other contestants were nudists. It was part of a special season of programmes on the channel to mark the 50th anniversary of British naturism. So there was a reason behind this game show.
Right.
And the programme was made by the same producers as CITV game shows Jungle Run. And it used some of the same set as well. I didn't watch Jungle Run.
No, I don't know it either. Children's show, it says, yeah.
But
Really?
It was just naked people running around for naked sake. And
It says the BBFC gave it a 15 rating.
Yeah, right.
Hasn't Jaws got a 12 rating?
Yeah.
Or PG or something?
That's the thing. You barely see the sea monster, whereas you get to see all of Chegger's little snakes.
So, what the British Board of Film Classification are saying is seeing a child eaten by a shark quite horrifically is not as bad as seeing Keith Chegwin naked. And to be fair, I agree.
I was going to say I don't see it. I think that's perfectly fair.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, I could watch a child being eaten again and again and again, compared to watching
Keith Chegwin naked.
Keith Chegwin flop about like someone's last week's left the Play-Doh out.
Well, it wasn't. That was the thing, though, because he was naked. I think he said he would do it as long as he was naked. That was one of the things.
Stipulation, was it?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Why hasn't he turned up on that horrific game show? Was it Naked Dating or whatever it is that's out now?
What?
You've not seen this thing?
No.
I've heard of it. I haven't gone anywhere near it.
Imagine Blind Date, but on a spaceship from this island Earth. And what you've got is you've got 5 cylinders around a person. And the person stands there with what's her face from Big Brother? Was it one who's always selling shampoo or healthcare products?
Davina McCall.
That's the one. And they're standing there, and then all of a sudden it's like you you have the sex that attracts you, 5 of them in a tube, and then the tubes are all lifted slightly and like show you the ankles.
Hang on. Have they got a special way how you can tell if the men are attracted to them or not?
No, they've got no way.
A special sign,
No.
seeing as they're standing there naked.
No, they got nothing. They got no way of doing it. And so what you do is you see like the ankles, and then Davina turns around and goes, "So, what do you think?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's not bad. Not so keen on those ones. Looks like she's got fat ankles." And then they go, "Right, okay, raise the blind a bit more," and it goes up to the hips. And then it stops there, and then there's the guy going, she's a bit untidy there. This one's a bit weird. You don't like the look of that one. That one's got a spot on the mimsy and all this kind of thing.
The mimsy.
And then he goes, right, raise it up again, and then you sort of like the
So
boob.
they can see the lady garden.
Oh, yeah.
It's called naked attraction.
I know, but I didn't know whether they'd be lifting the curtain up from the rear.
No,
So
I mean, the show is called Naked Attraction.
Yeah. It's lifting the curtain on the beef curtain. It's
pulling the curtains back, yeah.
Yeah, and then it goes all the way up to the top, and then at that point, the bloke sort of makes his choice, and then they go out for a date, like blind date. And then what happens is, before they go out on a date, the person who was doing all the judging then has to get naked themselves and then be judged by the person who's been picked.
right.
And then what happens is they switch sexes, and then all of a sudden it's like 5 blokes in the tubes, and then there's a woman standing there.
Well, the people of IMDb think that Naked Attraction was just as entertaining as Going for Gold.
Going for gold.
Exactly as entertaining, 6.8.
Wow.
Oh,
The only game show with a theme tune by Hans Zimmer.
There you go.
That's right, yes.
I knew there was something about the theme tune that was famous.
Exactly. He never plays it at his concert, strangely enough.
Funny that.
It's bizarre, that.
That'd be amazing, though. I'd love that.
Standing there, you paid 150 quid for a ticket right down the front, and you got going for gold. It's like, thank you very much. Good night. Inception, nothing. Just gets up and fucks off.
Or just plays that for an hour.
Yeah. No Gladiator, no Man of Steel, no Dark Knight, no Pirates Caribbean, none of that shit. Just an endless 12-inch loop of going for gold.
Yeah, all the classics. Yeah.
And Henry Kelly introducing it every 12 minutes.
Just wheel him on, yeah.
Yeah.
Deacon Duck in the chat room has said, "Oh dear, imagine if other quizzes were naked. Naked Weakest Link with Anne Robinson."
But you'd only see her because the rest of them are all stood behind the thing.
Yeah.
Naked the Cube.
What, with a little naked Phil
With Gordon
Watson?
Gopher.
And Phil with his Gordon Gopher out.
With Gordon, yeah.
Philip Schofield and his little Gordon the Gopher. See if you can get it to squeak. I mean, let's be honest. Naked Anne Robinson's bad, but it's when you go back in the 70s. That's when you're in trouble. Like a naked Bullseye with Jim Bowen.
Countdown.
Oh my!
Naked Countdown or just Countdown?
Either.
Well, is it modern?
Oh,
Is it
actually,
modern day Countdown?
isn't, I was going to say, isn't Rachel, what's her name?
Yeah. See, I could do. Yeah. Mm.
It's gone very laddie all of a sudden, hasn't it?
You brought up the nakedness, mate.
This is true. This is true.
You kicked it off. Well, I was
Part 2 of Shonky Lab. It's naked game shows.
Yeah. After dark. Naked Nicholas Parsons on Mr. and Mrs. Oh my word.
Right, you mentioned Bullseye.
Yes.
Should we ever go Bullseye?
Yeah, that was brilliant. Bullseye was fantastic because not only was it a game that you thought you could play,
yeah,
because anyone can throw an arrow at a wall, but it was more about the fact that it was the prizes that they got at the end.
Fucking hell.
Well, the prizes that they didn't get. It's was it Peter Kay sketch about how, they say, let's show you what you could have won. So we'll have a look. Give these people what's really sad as these speedboats and things go past. So, well, that's not for you. You've lost that.
Yeah, exactly. And then there would always be these things of like, I'm a bloke who lives in a coal mining town in sort of the middle of the Sheffield, and you've won a speedboat. What am I going to do with that? I'm just sitting in his garden, taking up space.
You live in central London. Well done, you've won this 15-foot caravan. What the fuck am I going to do with that?
Exactly. I came here on the bus. I don't even drive.
No, you got to take it with you.
They always gave him the bus fare home, didn't they? That's yours. You can keep that. Yeah.
Yeah, £5 is safe. £5 is safe. Now listen to Tony. And Tony was like the worst because you'd like have stay out of the black and into the red. You get nothing for two in the bed, and all this kind of crap. And then every time you throw something, you get Tony going, in one. He was like about to shit himself. It was like that wouldn't put you off at all. I mean, you see all these professional dartsmen, sort of like in pubs, and they go, quiet, please, so they can throw the darts. Whereas, like, in the show, you got fucking darts, a non-professional darts player throwing things while a big fat bloke goes, go on there, in one.
And he was always stood right next to the board as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It's quite dangerous.
I'm sure he just stopped.
Just hurling darts at him, yeah.
He stopped being on after he got a dart in the ear or something.
Were there rounds where it was the general public would take on the professionals, or is it just the general public would nominate a professional?
No, they weren't professionals. They were just darts. One was a designated darts player, and one wasn't. But they were all like pub players. They weren't pros or anything.
No, you get a pro on there every now and again.
Yeah, you would. You'd get like your Eric Bristows and Jockey Wilsons and all that kind of thing. They'd turn up, but then it was like, wasn't it? There was a whole thing about like they would have to score so many points for you, and if they did, then you got bonuses and all that kind of stuff. The bully board and all that kind of rubbish.
Yeah, because they had a certain amount of boards as well, didn't they? It changed.
Yeah, it was like 3 corners, wasn't it? It was, the whole thing was like a triangle if you saw it from the top, and it just turned around and there'd be like 3 different types of board. But I always just remember it just like, the you get to take home your ceramic bully.
Yeah, that's right. It was a bull in a darts shirt, wasn't it? Red and white striped darts shirt.
Yeah, very much like the NatWest Pigs, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he used to carry the dictionary.
Yeah. Doreen's going 180. 2 mates have to share. Yeah. Steve Bob's just joined us and saying he heard us talking about naked video game and naked game shows. Didn't Keith Chegwin host one? Just don't go there, Steve. Yes. We've been there. Down the road,
Elton's been there a lot. Yeah,
down that road. But
Bullseye on IMDb gets 6.8.
That's quite low.
Are we rating it based on IMDb scores? Because I've got a good one then.
We're just looking at them.
Just keeping a record. Yeah. What was it? 6.8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we doing Scone and Scone, by the way?
No, we've done it. It's Scone.
No, it's Scone. It's still Scone.
No, it's Scone. We've been over this.
We clearly haven't sorted this out yet.
It's Scone, as in I've eaten it. It's gone.
The fastest cake in the West.
Yeah, because it's gone.
Thank you.
Scone.
You can't make a pun gag out of it's scone. It's like, yeah, that doesn't work. So obviously the pun has to work with scone.
Thank you very much.
But we established that wasn't a good enough reason.
That is the good enough reason. I'm afraid.
It's the closest you've got to a reason.
Chat room. We haven't asked the chat room, really. There was hardly anyone there when we actually asked it. Scone, as in rhyming with gone, or scone, rhyming with cone.
Bone.
So I'll just ask the chat room that, see what happens, and see if they type, see what they do. So you're a scone man.
Yeah, scone.
Well done.
Yeah, Doreen's going scone, rhyming with gone.
There we go.
See? That's 3 in favour.
Boom.
And, but it's the wrong people in favour. I'm saying scone.
You're saying scone?
Scone, yeah.
Is that scone there? Is that right down south?
That's the
Been
one.
telling you that it's scone.
Right, game shows. Come on,
Okay.
hurry up.
On Safari.
What?
On Safari.
On Safari.
With Christopher Biggins.
Is this back in the 70s?
It's in the 80s.
It rings a bell.
Safari, so goody.
Is this naked as well?
No.
On Safari. Okay, hang on.
1982.
Can't go wrong with that.
Gillian Daleforth.
Yeah, from blowjobs on the lay-by. What?
Oh dear. I
You wanna
forgot
play-
all about that.
I've never heard of On Safari, but it's the second highest rating one that we've talked about so far.
So what was On Safari then? What did they do? What?
It was a bit like Crystal Maze, and it was a bit like Jungle Bush Tucker Trial kind of things from I'm a Celebrity, but it was with kids running around essentially what would, nowadays would be in a disused warehouse.
Illegal?
No, you know those kind of disused warehouses where they just put up like a ton of scaffolding, wrap it in foam, and call it a play area.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that, but made out of bamboo.
Right. Okay.
And then lots of challenges, and that would be pretty much it.
And this was a children's thing. Was it on? It was on ITV.
On ITV.
Okay.
Yeah, but and Christopher Biggins, challenging your perception of what a game show host should be, because he used to just stand around and talk about his glasses for like 90% of the time.
That's right. I remember the glasses thing.
Yeah. See? Deacon Duck's just thrown in the little spinner just to say that, what about nice biscuits? Are they pronounced as nice or niece?
Nice.
Niece.
And Steve Bob says scone rhymes with gnome. So, I guess...
So we're now arguing what scone actually rhymes with now.
Yeah. Deacon Duck, scone as in gone, not scown as in scone as in own.
Scone.
And then Doreen's going, nice biscuit. Thank you very much, Doreen. Back to Keith Chegwin again.
Takeshi's Castle. That's what I really wanted to talk about when we mentioned this the other day. Are Japanese game shows in general.
Oh, my word.
Takeshi's Castle was amazing. I only ever saw somebody win it once, and I couldn't tell you what they actually won. Have you seen it before?
Yeah.
It's the one where you start off with like 100 people, isn't it? Something like that, and they all just run forwards towards these ridiculous game shows, like where you've got 5 doors and 3 of them are boarded up.
Yes.
And 2 of them are paper, and they have to run straight at it as fast as they can to break through. And they just run into a wall and fall, and then they're out. And the ones when they go through the maze, and the scary people with the ink on their hands that run through, grab them, and put the hand on their face, and then throw them out the side into a lake.
That's a bit like that one that was it Chris Tarrant always used to have on his nighttime TV show, which was Endurance.
Oh,
see that?
What was the show called that Chris Tarrant did? It was basically just
Tarrant on TV.
That was it. Look at the stupid things that they do in Japan.
Yeah, Johnny Foreigner, isn't he weird?
Yeah.
There you go. Deacon Duck's just come up. Does anyone remember Endurance? I do.
What was Endurance then?
Well, Endurance was a sort of similar sort of thing to Takashi Castle, but what they used to do was they used to just put people deliberately through pain. So what they would do is they'd like like get the contestants to see how long they could put up with something. So like in one case, like they got got 4 guys in a room completely naked, except for some pants, and then would like attach lobsters to their nipples. And they'd have to just stand there, and whoever was the one standing there last with a 12-pound lobster hanging off his tit, won that round. And then, and then it cut to like next time you go back to endurance, you'd see, you'd see another guy who was kind of essentially stripped down to his shorts, sprayed with cold water, and then thrown into a deep freezer and that kind of thing.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah. Exactly, and it was shown again on Clive James also promoted it a lot as well on his thing.
See, they really push the boundaries, don't they? Really push the boundary of just scaring the bejesus out of some of their contestants. I know it's not Takeshi's Castle, but there's a clip on YouTube. It's all in Japanese. And this lady walks into an elevator, and the floor disappears from underneath her. And she goes falling down a slide, and they do it in slow motion as she falls past this camera. And it's hilarious watching a small Japanese lady fall slowly past the camera. And then she goes down on a slide, and then there's 2 people downstairs measuring how far she slides. And the winner is the person who slides the most. And they're clawing for their lives to stop moving.
Yeah.
It's genius.
Yeah. That is wicked. you got to admire them.
There is a game show in Japan, or there was, called Hand Job Karaoke.
Oh, you beat me to it.
And pray tell, what happens on there?
It's all over YouTube. It's basically these 2 guys stood behind screens up to their waist, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah.
And there's 2 girls bent over, and you can't quite see exactly what they're doing, but they're doing it vigorously, shall we say, while these 2 blokes, they've got to sing, haven't they?
Yeah, they got to sing, and the one who's lasts longest in both terms managed to stay in tune wins. So you've got not only got to have sort of like restraint in your own physical department, but manage to actually maintain I think you're playing something like one of those sort of karaoke machine games you get on a PlayStation, where it kind of like eventually it'll just bail you out because you've not hit the right note. And so you'd have to sort of try and sing like these really difficult songs.
Yeah.
While a Japanese girl dressed usually in latex or as a nurse basically gives you a hand job.
Wow.
And if you make 10,000 yen, a million yen, roughly $10,000. If you make it to the end,
they are way ahead.
To be quite honest, you'd pay 20 quid just to be on the show. That's probably how they make the money for the prize.
Yeah, just from applicants. Yeah.
Yeah, the queue goes round the block.
But how does a game show like that get past censors and people?
Because
it must have gone into a room, and someone says, "No, yes, we'll make that."
No, it's just, as Lee just says, it's you just turn around and go, just Japan.
Do you think it was like a sort of Alan Partridge style meeting? Someone was just blurting out things. They just went, hand job karaoke. No, that sounds interesting. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. Hand job karaoke, monkey tennis. Yeah, it's just random words just slapped together. Yeah.
Slapped together, yeah.
Yeah, slapping together.
Was there a prize at that, or is it just
10 grand?
10 grand.
Wow.
If you made it to the end, so to speak, if you consistently got to 90 points, then you'd
I wouldn't last before the first break.
Yeah,
I'd still be choosing the song. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I have a warm up?
You want to touch me where?
How much? How much am I paying to be on the show? Inner City Sumo. From Deacon Doug. He's gone Monkey Tennis, Inner City Sumo, and The Happy Ending. There you go. There you go.
Japan. Fantastic. Anything else you wanted to talk about, Elton?
What else have I got? Well, we mentioned Bullseye, didn't we? To go along with that, you also had Big Break.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, that's Jim Davidson and the guy with the waistcoat. What was his name?
John Virgo.
John Virgo, yeah, that's right.
Oh, God, now I remember.
It was a snooker-based game.
Wasn't that the song that inspired Chaz and Dave, Snooker Loopy? Or did they make a song about it or something?
No, I think Snooker Loopy came before.
Song? Yeah, but didn't they do the theme tune to it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Didn't they?
Yeah.
It was in the Chaz and Dave style.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I suppose it was. Yeah.
Of the reds and screw back to the yellow, green, brown, blue, pink, and black, or something like that.
No, that is Snooker Loopy. But it had a different song, but I suppose it was in a Chaz and Dave.
I'm gonna be snookering you tonight.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, I used to love that. It was just it's pretty much a snooker version of the dartboard game. So
I just remember that every week John Virgo would do a different trick shot.
Yes, to break it up a little bit, yes.
Yeah.
And then he'd invite the contestants to try it as well.
Yeah, and if they made it, they'd win, I don't know, a fucking trophy made out of plastic or something.
They'd be allowed to go home.
Yeah. Be allowed out of the pits.
They'd get a free go on hand job karaoke.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
There was another game. Oh,
it's the snooker song by Captain Sensible.
What was Play Your Cards Right.
Higher, lower, Friday night.
Bruce Forsyth.
You get nothing for a pair. Yeah.
Not in this game.
Play Your Cards Right. Hang on, I'm going to have to find the wiki on this, because it was a card-based game, wasn't it?
That's right. You
And
had to go across.
Had to go across a board. You had, let's say 6 cards. They're massive novelty cards as well, weren't they?
Yep, that's right.
They'd be on a board. You'll be playing against a person, and let's say I have 2 Lees playing, and Lee, your first card is the 9 of Hearts. Do you want to go higher or lower?
And then the audience would have to shout out for a bit, wouldn't they?
No, we're actually playing.
Yeah, he's actually playing.
I'm waiting for people to go higher, higher,
lower,
higher, lower, higher,
lower,
lower.
Lower. Okay, turn it up. 7 of Hearts. Well done. Now, where do you want to go? Higher or lower on 7?
Lower. Lower.
Higher.
Higher.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a 4 of clubs. Unlucky. Right now, it's Mr. Medcalf's go. And your first card is a Jack of Spades.
Oh,
higher.
Lower.
Higher. Lower.
Lower. Okay, and it is a 9 of clubs.
Oh, I'm going
lower. Lower.
Higher.
Lower.
Lower.
2 of Hearts. Well done.
Hey, higher.
Higher.
Lower.
Ace
higher.
of Hearts. Oh,
Wasn't
unlucky.
aces high?
Well done. You've won.
You've won.
You brat. Often pays to learn the rules.
Maybe that's why I didn't get the gig. Damn.
Maybe.
But he'd have his Dolly Birds as well, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah. Yes. Was it something? Every week they're so appealing. Okay, Dolly's Dooley or Dealing.
Yeah.
And then they'd wander out and put out like 7 cards, and that'd be their job for the entire evening.
Well, he was notorious for having the lovely ladies around him as well, wasn't he? The Generation Game, he did.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair, that's a lot better than what some other hosts of that era had around them.
Yeah.
Oh, Pat Sharp, he had the twins.
Yep.
Funhouse, was it?
Yeah, Funhouse.
As the review I've got in front of me, Pat Sharp has some children round to his house.
And let's be honest, does it, considering that there's a certain level of challenge to the thing that they want to do, does Jim Will Fix It count as...
What's the challenge there?
The challenge is to get away with your bottom spot intact and also get your...
Yeah, getting the medal as a bonus.
Going home still a virgin.
Yeah. Yeah. A whole lot of fun prizes to be won. But yeah, no. I mean, does that count? Because, I mean, you know...
Jim Will Fix It?
Yeah. Because, I mean, you know, you'd have all the...
No, it's not really a game show, is it? Because it was just, can I do this, please? And they said, that sounds interesting. Yes, you can.
Yeah, there wasn't a game show element to it, though, was there?
But there was things like when the Scouts, that thing they always play on sort of Christmas telly on sort of...
the eating,
and going
the
up
lunch, on the roller coaster.
Yeah, that's right. There was the whole challenge of we'd like to do this. You know, it was always a challenge element to it.
Yeah, I suppose.
And like I say, if you can manage to make it out without a lawsuit as well, that'd be better.
Yeah. What was that?
Without trauma in an adult life, yeah.
There was a game show where it was something like You Bet or something, where you would
Yep.
Bet that the person could guess how many closed... he can guess 10 different makes of cars by just the sound of their closing their doors.
That's right. It was out. They had it back in the 70s, and now they've brought it back with Stephen Mulhern, sort of at 5 o'clock on a Saturday evening.
Was it on now?
Yeah, they've revamped it.
What was it? Is it called You Bet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember a couple of weeks ago was like, I don't know if it was the last one in the series or something, but I was go around my parents, and it's always quiz show central around my parents because they
My nan and granddad's was quiz show central as well.
Yeah, and so there was this Asian chap who said that he could go down the line of like 16 watermelons and break them with his head.
Obviously.
Yeah, and he did. Guy did it. I don't think he knows where he is anymore, and I think he's lost all of hearing and his eyes don't focus, but, you know, he's done well.
Have you seen the German version of that?
I know, but I can imagine it probably involves throwing panzer tanks or something.
No. It's there is a guy who tries to break watermelons with his head, and he struggles on the first one, and he really pounds it, and it gets to the point where the host of the show says, "Look, you have to stop, otherwise you're going to kill yourself." He was going for it, and someone got some wrong watermelons that weren't ripe.
Just like bricks.
He was just slamming his head into these melons, and they weren't shifting.
They hand-painted some medicine balls and just put them on there.
But you could see the bruise on his forehead welling up right in front of your eyes.
Nice.
It's kind of sickening. It's horrible.
Yeah. Well, you know, idiots will do things to get famous.
Yeah. Okay. Cheats.
What?
Cheats on game shows.
Cheats on game shows. Well, the easiest one is the was it Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, with the guy in the audience going yeah. Every time the answer was brought up.
Yeah, he had I can't remember his name, but he was a major or something, wasn't he?
Yep. And
he went on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He struggled on the first day. He used 2 of his lifelines on the first day. I think he came back the next day and he had a chat with his wife and someone behind the scenes as well, allegedly, just in case. And he was struggling, and he would read out the answers, and when he would read out the correct answer, someone was feeding his wife the answer, and so she would cough when he said the correct answer. And so he would answer with that. And he got to 1 million, and he ended up winning $1 million.
Yeah.
Major Charles Ingram.
That's it. And then he got done for fraud.
No shit.
He spent maybe 12 months in jail because of it.
Yeah, Deacon Duck. He was Major Cheat. That was his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is footage or a recording of him getting the phone call saying that you were cheating. And it's not, no bollocks, I wasn't cheating. He kind of backs down and goes, oh, well, that's disappointing, isn't it? Okay, I'll speak to you later then. And you just know that the game is up already, mate. You're done.
You are going straight to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200.
Yeah.
Actually, I tell you what. There's one thing, if you haven't brought it up already, that I thought would be bang on your list. Actually, Elton.
Go on.
From 1984. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And all the way through to January 1990.
Right.
110 episodes. Bob's Full House. Bob Monkhouse gives questions to people, and when they answer them, they get to fill in a bingo card.
Oh man! No, it rings a bell, but I don't think I've ever. It could have been on when I was around my grandparents.
Yeah, so you'd have you'd look at your bingo card that was like on the front of your display, and then you'd see that you'd have I don't know. A number I need a number 5. Well, then 0 to 10 would be places. So he'd have to answer a question on places. And if you wanted a number that was between, I don't know, 50 and 60 or something, then you'd have to answer a question on science.
Okay.
He'd have to fill. The two contestants would have to fill their bingo cards in.
Oh, yeah, I've got a screenshot of it here.
Yeah.
It rings a bell.
It was
I've definitely heard of it. I just don't remember watching it.
And they actually had it as a ZX Spectrum game as well.
What was the one with Michael Barrymore and the hotspots? He had to go from one side of the... There was all these screens on stairs.
Strike It Lucky.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was like a question. What was it? You said top, middle, or bottom, and they chose, and it flashed up, and it was either a hotspot and you lost a life, or a question, wasn't it? Or continue on to the next row.
Yeah.
And the prize was always a TV or something.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, which was usually a strike it lucky pen.
Yeah.
You'd literally put yourself through 3 ulcers and. Nightmares for the rest of your life as your brain constantly thinks, I should have gone to the top. I should have gone to the bottom. I should have done this. Oh no. Yeah.
There was one that Lee Harvey wanted to mention.
Hello.
When we first spoke about this, you wanted to speak about catchphrase.
Ah, yeah. Say what you see. Yeah.
It's a good guess, but it's wrong. It's close.
It's close, but it's not right. Yeah.
It's close, but it's not right.
So, what was the aim of that game then?
It was Mr. Chips, that weird precursor to the little Android graphic, I suppose. There's a little yellow bloke who was doing things, and it was a phrase. What he was doing was a phrase, and you had to try and work it out what the phrase was by what he was doing. But the screen was covered up, so you had to answer questions really quickly to uncover little bits of the screen.
Yeah,
and the first person to guess it would win.
It's still on. It's still on telly.
Yeah, I don't know who the host is now. I'm trying to find.
It's Stephen Mulhare.
Yeah,
it's up for all of these things.
Is he like James Nesbitt, but for Challenge TV?
Yeah,
they've just got him on a contract and put him onto everything.
He's a cut price and deck rolled into one, isn't he?
Yeah,
well, it's actually their friend, isn't he? That's the whole thing, and they've got him gigs on all these other things, so he's on ITV all over the place.
Yeah,
but yeah. So you the answer, to uncover the super catchphrase, which was all covered up, you'd get each one. You get like a little animation, so you get little Mr. Chips come in and he hop on a cloud, and then he'd hop on another cloud and hop on another cloud, and each cloud had a number on it, and then you get to number 9, and it would stop. And the music would just be going dun 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 dun.
Say what you see. Say what you see.
Yeah, exactly. Say what you see. And then someone would go, "Is it standing on a cloud?" No.
Is it 9 clouds?
Yeah. Is it 9 clouds? No.
Cloudy day?
No. Chips on a cloud? No.
And then they have the buzzer.
Yeah, that's it. Twang.
Is it 9 clouds again? No, you've just said that.
Yeah. It's close, but it's not right. Just say what you see.
What's he doing? Where's Mr. Chips? Yeah.
And it'll be frustrating because you'd be screaming the answer at them. You stupid idiot. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, and it would get down to the point where all of the things were cleared, the whole screen was completely visible, and both people are just staring at it. Like, and Roy Walker's there going, "Say what you see." I don't know what it is.
What's Mr. Chips doing? What's he doing there? Can you see what he's doing? He's got a bird, and it's in his hand, and in the bush there's 2 of them. What's the catchphrase?
Bird shit hand.
Birdie hand, yeah.
3 birds in a farm. No.
Talking bush. No. And the whole of the UK would know this, apart from these 2 people. Water my bush. No.
Yeah. Batman and Robin. No.
Bird on a wire. No.
3 birds on the chip. No. Oh, 1.5 birds.
And then the contestants will start looking at each other and they'll be like, we really don't know what this is. It's so confusing.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
It's
just, you still find yourself doing it. You're sitting there screaming at them. Robin's Nest.
Speaking of, do you remember Mitchell and Webb did the sketch show for Number Wang?
Oh, that's a Number Wang.
Which was just taking the mick out of all these daytime TV shows and stupid people.
Yeah.
That's Number Wang, yeah. We go 1, no. 1, no. 1, no, that's not the answer.
Is it 1?
Yeah.
That's Number Wang.
That's Number Wang. And when they had let's spin the board, and the 2 people started waving, and the board spins round that they're sat on to reveal 2 other people who are just waving, and it carries on spinning back round to the original people. Just there, sat there waving at the crowd. Carry on. Oh, Number Wang, it's fantastic.
Oh, brilliant. We've only got like just under 15 minutes left, right? But I do want to mention one that I had a friend go on and actually win.
Okay.
Go on.
Blind date.
Wow.
Yeah, how do you win blind date?
Well, you win the date.
Yeah, but you still have to go out with that person, and they still sit there and slag you off on the telly next day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it carried over the weekend, didn't it?
Yeah, you don't win. You don't win blind date. All you do is you get a reprieve on blind date.
Well, I had a friend who always wanted to go on a blind date, and he said that he'd win it, and he'd definitely go off on the date and do whatever was needed to win that thing. And I was given tickets because you're not allowed to have friends or family in the audience because you could have participation, and they just don't want any of that humdrum of shindiggery going on. They don't want any bad publicity from this. And I managed to get tickets, just so happened, for a recording of Blind Date. And me and Amanda went along and watched it, and it was, okay, fine, we'll just go along. We're not expecting to see my friend turn up, and all of a sudden, the last game, he rocks up, and he ends up winning it. And I'm like, what the hell just happened there? It was really good to watch it, to see what goes into actually recording one of these shows. I don't think I'd ever go again, because it just dragged on and on and on and on. Yeah, they did probably 4 or 5 episodes in one day. Yeah, and it was fun to watch, but it was made by seeing my friend on there. If he hadn't come on and we hadn't seen him win, then I think I would have gone away going, right, never ever doing that again, and I didn't enjoy it. But because he was there, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah, he ended up winning the date and ended up going away for the weekend with this lady.
Yeah, and
oh, he didn't marry her or anything like that.
So he lost.
Or won.
Yeah.
Hello, couple. Yeah, bachelor number 4. Hello. If I was a toffee, what would you do?
I'd unwrap you and lick you all over, and then pick the fluff off when I dropped you down the back of the sofa. Hey, well done. Well done.
Oh dear.
Oh God.
Any others on my list that I need to do?
I'll tell you what. There's a bit of a thing going on in the chat at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Where basically Deacon Duck asked, "Have we mentioned Supermarket Sweep yet?"
No, we haven't.
And he reckons it's the worst game show ever. To which Lucky Minty is rather adamant that it's not. She thinks it's brilliant. I think it's fucking awful. It's greedy cunts on trolleys.
I have to admit, I think I've only caught one episode. I don't think I've watched enough to actually give an informed decision about that.
It's just, you've got a shopping trolley, you get asked a question, and every question you ask gives you a few more seconds to run around this supermarket. And then what happens is you get this whole thing of suddenly someone realizes that they can make more money sweeping along, shoveling toilet roll into their trolley, but then it takes up too much space. So let's head for the polos and racing around up and down alleyways, looking for the smallest thing with your biggest hands and the smallest amount of time you can get the most amount of shit into your basket.
Is this set in a shopping supermarket, or is it on the set?
Yeah. As Deacon Duck says, it's Benefit Street as a game show.
Oh dear.
They had prizes, didn't they, for different things? So as you were going, like, you were given like a shopping list. It was on like a big card, and if you got those items, you'd win something.
Yeah.
So they were running around, like you say, trying to find some room in amongst all the toilet rolls to shove the TV in there or something like that.
That's right. And over the course of watching it, over all the time it was on, you could slowly watch Dale Winton's shoulders slowly up to his ears as his head slowly receded into his body. And now, at the moment, if you see him now, he literally has no neck. He looks like one of the creatures from one of the sort of stuffed animals from fucking It's a Knockout. Just Swiggy Frontier, or, sort of where your arms are flopping about and you think the head doesn't quite fit the body. And he flops about a bit. He's just a human melted candle, that man.
We ain't got long left.
No, that's right.
I want to mention Robot Wars. Yeah. Because you mentioned that, didn't you, Elton?
Yeah, I did, yeah. I still love that.
I must say, genuinely, I watched the series that was on this year, and it was really good.
I thought the pit was a bit overpowered. It was just a case of, okay, open the pit, drop someone in there.
But you had the one that won, because you had the big house robots, didn't you? Who,
yeah.
I imagine everyone who's listening to this knows what Robot Wars is, but if you don't, it's you build a robot and you use it to smash to pieces other robots in the best way you can.
Yeah.
And they had the house robots, so these big, expensive, heavy things that they build using all the technology, and they were almost invincible. But the one that won it this year was throwing them around all over the place. It was fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah. It flipped over 3 of the house robots. The only one it didn't manage was Sir Kill-a-Lot, because that's as big as I am.
Yeah. I only saw a couple of episodes. I think it was when we was in France, when I went over there for the football, and I ended up watching a bit of Robot Wars and the Star Trek as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was the new stuff, and it still had the same vibe about it.
Yeah.
And it's got the who's going in after the matches, that pub landlord guy. No, it wasn't.
No,
him.
it wasn't him. It was Dara O'Brien.
Ah, that's it. Yes, and I didn't like that part of the thing, and we was missing Philippa Forrester as well. She wasn't there.
Well, we were all missing Philippa Forrester.
Yeah. Let's take a second to think about Philippa Forrester.
Yeah, I'm just googling her.
I'm just rubbing my thighs in a Vic Reeves style.
What I never understood with Robot Wars is why someone didn't just like put tank treads on a fucking lathe, just send it out there. It's like it's £14,000 worth of kit that just kind of rolls out on tank treads and just rolls over everything, and just I never quite understood why everyone went for a cheese wedge with like essentially look like a toothpick on a rubber arm against something that was clearly made out of military grade battle armor.
The only problem with Robot Wars is they do all end up looking like cheese wedges, and so they all attack the same way. And so it's always fun to have the people that just go there for shits and giggles, really, and get burnt alive.
Well, there was one in this latest round where it got through because I think one of the better ones fell into the pit, but it was just made of wood. It had like a wooden outer casing to it, and it just got smashed to bits for every single thing. But like you say, they were the guys who were wearing stupid leopard print woolly waistcoats, and we're just having a laugh. This is brilliant. And every single time, bits would be flying off it, and it would be set on fire, and they'd have to wheel it out again half an hour later after patching it up. Yeah, they were good.
I mean, I don't understand why they didn't just go like these cheese wedge ones, sort of slide out, and in the front of the cheese wedge just have a stick of dynamite. They would just drop and then slide backwards.
It would just roll slowly out into the middle of the arena and then just explode.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they never explained the rules as to why you had to build your robot the way it was. It was like I just sort of kept sitting there thinking, if I was building a robot, it would literally be a 6-foot high box with like chainsaws on every surface. and basically, if it fell over, it would actually kill a man.
Start digging a tunnel by accident.
Yeah, exactly. And it wouldn't move. It'd just be literally rooted there by a huge concrete slab and maybe tire tracks.
See, I thought, why could you not build like just a hydraulic sledgehammer that just put every single thing it had into one massive whack?
Yeah.
To just crush whatever's in front of it.
Exactly. I don't quite realise why, was it that there was a rule that said your machine had to look like it was made out of Baco, foil and Meccano parts?
Well, good luck with that one then.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing your entry next year.
What, my one?
Yeah.
Fucking right, mate. I tell you, I would literally just drive my car in.
No, these are the controllers. I'm in it.
Wrap myself up in tin foil, pretending to be a robot from Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, and just drive over the whole fucking lot.
Could you enter Stephen Hawking into it, maybe?
Oh, he'd be amazing, wouldn't he? Burn, burn, burn.
Yeah.
Put like some flamethrowers on the bottom of his wheelchair.
Doreen wanted to know, can't the judges stop the fights if one contestant did look like it was attacking?
They do have judges, don't they?
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. I always thought those things that people built just was way too flimsy right from the start. They're standing there. There's a kid standing there with something that looks like literally like he spray painted silver onto a piece of cardboard Amazon delivery box.
Kids in tears at the back of the show. After their robot that they spent 2 years building with their dad in their garage is in pieces, melted, and they can't find the microchip that runs everything, and they're just sobbing away.
There was one with the little girl who was. I think they got knocked out in the first round, and you could see that she was properly pissed off. That her dad got into trouble on their way home from that one.
Well, we had a good time out, didn't we, dear?
Yeah, emotional trauma for life.
Yeah. Right. Okay. We're coming very quickly to the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to Lee for coming on,
Which one?
and thank you to Lee for coming on as well.
I think he means you.
I think he means you. But see what he did there.
Yeah. So, Lee, have you got anything to plug?
Which one?
No? Okay. And Lee, anything?
Yeah, you can hear me on the Black Dog Podcast.
No. Thank you.
You can hear him on the Black Dog Podcast.
Yeah. Thank you to both of you for joining in. Thank you to Mr. Harvey for joining us. Thank you to Mr. Medcalf for phoning up and bearing with us while we got you on the show.
That's okay.
Have you got anything to plug, Mr. Harvey?
I haven't, but to say that Nightmare and the Crystal Maze was joint top with 8.5. There you go.
Nice one. Well done. And Mr. Medcalf, have you got anything to plug at all? Anything?
The Black Dog and and Space Doc, but I plug those enough. Oh, and Jeremy Clarkson was on Bloody Robot Wars.
Yes, I remember him being on the first series, wasn't he?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just thought I'd mention.
Well, thank you to everyone in the chat room that's joined us. I think it's just jumped off air, so they can still download and listen to me thank them for being there with us. I haven't got anything else to plug because I'm not doing anything else apart from Black Dog Podcast. So find me over there. I think that's it now, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
All done.
We're in the green room again.
Yeah, we are, yeah. But, this is like the sneak peek behind the curtain for the people that have downloaded it.
Is it the DVD extras?
Yeah. I did want to say just one thing. You do know that Robot Wars has turned into like a thing on CBBC now, which is actually with drones fighting each other.
What? This sounds amazing.
Called Airmageddon.
Oh, Jesus.
That sounds brilliant.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Airmageddon. That sounds like an Irish person being scared. Armageddon.
He's right. It's a thing.
I know. I see it every Saturday bloody morning.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I take it these kids just get given the drone. They're not like they don't
No.
have to design it or build it.
Their dads and everything buy the drones and
Oh, there's one here with a flamethrower on it.
Yeah. There's like the House Robots versions as well.
A friend of mine is genuinely a drone pilot for the OS.
Mm.
I might see if we can enter one.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
That would be amazing.
This is the version of the Neo Geo kids on Games Master. This is just ridiculously expensive to get into.
Mm. Yeah, and for 8 o'clock in the morning, there's one for the dads in the form of Rachel Stringer, who hosts the thing.
Do you know, I saw her. That was the first thing I noticed when I got onto the page.
Tight leather pants at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning is it's all you need. But that's just me. But yeah. But it's great, and it's also got it's got like 3 different stages. You got this thing where you face off against the bad guys, and you go into the sort of cam eye view of the drones, and then there's another one where you have to race around the track at high speed, and then there's like the final one where you face off against your remaining drone pilots.
Right. Okay.
It's really cool.
Sweet.
I might check it out.
Yeah.
I'll probably forget about it, but I might check it out.
No,
It'll be on iPlayer.
Yeah, it is on iPlayer.
Yeah, there you go.
Definitely. But there you go. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that as well. But
That's I'm looking forward to that.
just to prove I'm not a doddery old fuck who only from 1980 beyond.
You have your uses.
Well, so some say, but
Anyway, right. Thank you very much, everyone, to listening to this. Thank you, everyone, to downloading this and enjoying it. If you did enjoy it, then please pop along to iTunes and give us a review there. If you're there giving us a review, then please give the Black Dog a review as well. Give Hypnagoria a review. Give Grand Prix Podcast a review. Give all your favourite shows a review, you bastards. Why not? It doesn't take that much to do that. I've done it. Other people have done it. You do it as well. So anyway, until next time, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.